Hi fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today it is this stylish short gown, okay, strapless, that we will be cutting in this video. All right, first thing, we will be starting with the front at the front of this dress. So let's analyze the dress first. The down can be flay, gathers, pleat, whichever one, but the upper part of this dress has a cut on the front. And to give you the fitting on that dress, we will be using a bustier, but there will be no padding on it or cup on it, okay? But if you choose to add cup, you can add, but there's no padding, no cup on this. So this is the calculation I'll be working with. Shoulder 16 divided by 2, bust 38 divided by 4, waist 30 divided by 4, half length is 16. The gown length of this gown is 38, and bust point 10, nipple to nipple 8 divided by 2 gives you 4. You add 1.5, and on the bust I added 3 inches. That is the minimum you can go. That is the minimum allowance you can add to your bust after dividing. So where I added 3, that is the minimum. You can go with 4. As a beginner, you should work with 4, you should work with 5. All right, so these are the calculation I will be working with in this video. So guys, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, please. Give the video a thumbs up, and if you have any question, drop it on the comment section. This is the fabric I'll be working with for the course of this dress. Now I love this fabric. Look at it. It has pattern. There are some Ankara you pick, you see they have pattern. This one has pattern. You can see the upper part is a black and white. This down part is flower, you can see. So that is the fabric I'll be working with, and you know how we do it. We'll work with our pattern paper first. So you fold your fabric, your pattern paper, into 2. As a beginner, do not feel you don't need pattern cutting. You need it. Work with your pattern paper. So once you fold, you check. Now the highest measurement in that calculation is our bust, which is 9.5 plus 3 is about 13. So I measured and I have more than 13, okay, on the pattern paper. That means I'm good to go. So I folded my fabric more than 13. So you place your tape. All right, when you place your tape, you mark out all your necessary basic lines, starting with the armhole depth, the half length, the bust length, the under bust. All right, so for this cutting, I'm working with my armhole is 8. I'm using 8 for my armhole depth, okay. My bust point, I'm going for 10, and my under bust 13.5, and my half length, you already know, is 16. Then you add 1 inches to the half length, so I'm going for 17. You'll be joining the upper part to the waistline of your flay, of your gathers, whatever you're going for the down. So that is why I added 1 inches to the half length, okay. So after you have gotten it, you mark them out properly the way it should be, to make it more easy. So I'm using my rule to connect them out properly, okay. To connect them out properly, the same thing down here. This is my bust point, connect the line properly. My under bust, connect the line properly. And my half length, okay, connect the line properly. Now so once I've connected all the lines, the next thing I need to mark is my shoulder. All right, so you already know, according to the calculation, we have 16 divided by 2, which gives us 8. So I will be marking 8 inches for my shoulder. Then come down here to and mark 8. Then take rule. This is B. All right, this is BP. This is BP, and this is UB, which is under bust, and we have the waist, which is the half length. Okay, now after leveling all out, the next thing is we need to connect the shoulder, connect it this way straight down to the bust or under bust. But next thing is for us to start marking. Right at the B, mark your bust measurement. Remember, we have 9.5 after division. That is what I marked. And the allowances, what are the allowances? The dart allowance, the sewing allowance. These are the two allowance needed in this dress. So that is what I marked. The same thing on the waist. I marked my waist measurement and I added my sewing allowance and dart allowance. Remember, as a beginner, your dart allowance, what you should use is 4 or 5. Then you connect it. Okay, good. So we have gotten the basics. All right, now let me not forget this part. This is my half length. Then we'll need our French curve to curve the down, cover it properly well, to give it that basicness. All dress you can actually achieve any style from the basics. So I'm trying to achieve this style in a way that even a novice, someone that have not tried it out before, can easily try it. That is why majorly I always start from the beginning, from the basics, and do whatever I want to do. Then once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is you mark out your nipple to nipple. Remember, I said 8 for my nipple to nipple. I divided it by 2 and added half inches, so I'm marking 4.5. All right, then take your rule and connect it from the B to the waist. Okay, which is what I did right now. All right, once you've connected it, the next thing you need to do is, this is the center point, the connectivity point. Once you indicate your bust point, which is what I indicated where I circled now, the distance from your bust point to wherever you want it to go up is what covers your bust. If your dress is at your bust point, it is exposing. Okay, so from it up, whatever you decide to cover your bust with is your choice. For this video, I use 5. I place my tape, and what I marked now is 5. All right, now having marked the 5, before, we need to analyze something. Look at this dress very well. You can see the upper part of this dress has a kind of a band extension. Do I call it a band extension? Okay, so for the cost of it, I will be using 1.5 for that thickness you're seeing at the front. On top of this dress is a kind of a band, and it equally forms at a kind of a finishing for this dress. Is a way of finishing the front part of this dress. Okay, so I'm going for 1.5, so I will cut it off. Okay, it is my 1.5 band. Then once you've done that, at that remaining line, connect it straight back to the other lines, which is your nipple to nipple you marked earlier. Once you have done that, then you start taking 1 inches. At this point, you take 1 inches. Okay, place your tape. From the left hand side, you take 1 inches. From the right hand side, you take 1 inches. Okay, the same thing, you come to the underbust, this circled part, go for 1 inches on both sides. Okay, before connecting it to that circle part, you connect it to the circle part. You see how I'm connecting it to the circle part? Okay, now is a kind, do I call it is equally a kind of a dart, but it's a bustier. You're trying to give the bust space to fit in on the dress perfectly well. Okay, so once you've done that, you connect it from the underbust down to the waistline, 1 inches. Okay, so this is it. Remember, guys, drop your question on the comment section. I will be going through it, and please do give this video a thumbs up. Once you've done that, get your rule, connect it from the other. You can see where I connected it, where my marker is. Connect, slant your rule straight down to the line, you can see how slanted it. That is all you need. Okay, once you have done that, you cut. Watch my cutting. All right, I went through this last slanted I did right now, then cut it down equally. The center will be cut later. Okay, so the other side needs to be cut. This is it. Now our front pattern is almost ready. So our front pattern is almost ready. Okay, so I just need to cut the other part of it, then this is it. This part is no longer needed. Okay, so I'll just pin. Why am I pinning? I'm pinning because I don't want it shifting, when cutting this particular center part. It is very crucial we get the lines, no mistakes. Okay, especially at that bust point area, we don't need mistakes. So I'm trying to hold it firm so that it holds down before going for the cutting. All right, so I'll equally hold the waist part of it and cut. Okay, so this is me cutting. We need to take all the centers out, and when cutting to the bust point, you need to be very careful. Get the lines the way it should be. It is of important you get everything, so that is why I pinned it, so no part will be so this is the last part I'll be cutting, and our front pattern is ready. Okay, so the front pattern, it is ready. This is it. Okay, so this is how it is. So what I just need is place it on the fabric and cut. But before placing it on the fabric, let's talk of the back. All right, keep this side. Let's work on the back part. The back. Now this is how the back of this dress is. You can see it is smoked. Okay, so for those that don't know how to achieve this, there is a video I'll be attaching at the end of this video. Watch the video. That is how you achieve your smoked or smoked dress, how you smoke dress, how you smoke. All right, so the bad part is this way, therefore there will be no need for zip. When you have this as your back, it is stretchy, there is no need for zip. Okay, so what I'll just do here is a rough calculation for the back. All right, how you go about the back. Now for my bust, it is 38. That is the largest measurement apart from the hip, but the upper part there's no hip. So when you divide it by 4, it gives us 9.5. Then that 9.5, you just need to multiply it by 5, or whatever it gives you, which is about multiply 9 by 5 is about 40 something, or you just multiply it by 4, okay, which equally gives us about 38. Okay, so what you need, this is what will take as the width, the wideness of the fabric we are to cut for the back and to start smoking, whichever one, I mean the same. Then for the length, all right, remember, or the height. Okay, we have gotten the width and the wideness, we need the height. So remember, our half length is 16. 16 is our half length. And our armhole depth, remember, you minus your armhole depth. You get me? If it is 9, that is your armhole depth, minus your armhole depth. Whatever it gives you, or maybe it is 8, whichever one, take out your armhole depth from it. Now I took 8 as my armhole depth, so minus 8 plus this minus 6, 8, 16 minus 8 gives us 8, plus 2 inches. The 2 inches is folding allowance, every other allowance, which gives me 10. So the height of the fabric I'm to cut to achieve this smoking will be 10, and then the width or the wideness will be 8. Understand me? you know, when you want to smoke, you don't cut smoky, you just cut fabric and start smoking. But how do you know what to cut? That is what this measurement is all about. So this is the my fabric, you know, like I told you earlier, this fabric has two patterns. The flowered part, I will want it to be on the upper part of this dress, and the black and white part will be the down part of it. Remember I told you earlier, your dress can, the down part of it can either be waist, sorry, not waist, it can either be gathers, flay, pleat, whichever one. But on the picture, what you're seeing is a flay. All right, it is cut in flay. All right, and they pleated it a little bit, you know, in some places. That is what you're seeing. So it can be flay, it can be pleat, it can be gathers. But on the picture, what they did there is flay, and they pleated it a little bit on the waist. Okay, so I'm cutting my front pattern. All right, I have limited fabric for this. This is 3 yards of fabric that, you know, I have left, so I'm using it to cut. Okay, so remember to watch. If you don't know how to smoke your back, smoking, or you have not tried it before, I'll be attaching the video. It's just the same way. The difference is the front has a bustier and the back is smoked, you know. Watch the next video after this video, and if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. All right, and if you have any question, drop it on the comment section. Okay, so this is my center front that I'm cutting. Remember I said the flower part will be for all my upper part of it to be flowered. The down part will be the black and white, you know. That is how I want it, you know, the pattern to come out. Okay, so I'm getting the center front. You can see I did not add any allowance. Now, if you're cutting your bustier, when it comes to this particular one, this particular center front, there should be no allowance. If you want to put allowance, this is where you put allowance. Okay, but when it comes to the other one, there should be no single allowance. Cut exactly, so your nipple to nipple will not be too wide. Okay, and it will be excess for the bust. So this part will cut. This part I'm cutting now, do not add any allowance to it. Cut accurately. Your allowance should go to the side if you choose to add allowance. Understand me? This is the side your allowance should go. This part I'm cutting right now, if you choose to add allowance, this is where you should add allowance when cutting. If you choose to, it's a matter of choice. Okay, so I'm cutting accurately because I added the allowance. I added is okay for me. All right, so, and remember the back of this dress is stretchy, so I don't want it being too much. So this is accurate. It is very much okay. So this is our other side of the fabric. This is the center part. So this is how it will be. All right, now there's something I need to remember. I told you there will be a band. That 1 inches I took off when taking that 1 inches I took off when cutting initially. I said is the band, the kind of a finishing, you know, to the neck. All right, when you're done sewing, remember it's not padded, there's no pad, there's no cup. When you're done joining these two, all right, you get a band, fold it into two, you know, and just sew it and turn it up. Is a way of finishing the front pattern. Okay, so this is how it will be. Remember, what I made provision for is 1.5. So the height of my band has to be 1.5. If you look at that very well, you see that they use either 1.5 or 1 1/4. Okay.